Okay, so this is the cat project, and we're going to use the pen tool to trace most of it, but you can use the Pathfinder. I also, you can use basic shapes, some brushes, the width tool, and the blend tool. So if you don't already have it placed into a document, you're going to go File, Place, and place this pixel-based version of the cat into your document. And then you want to go to your layers and lock it, because you don't want to be moving it around all the time. You're then going to make a new layer, and I'm going to hit P for the pen tool. Now the best way to do this is to just look at the pieces and figure out how to do it in big pieces. And if you don't have it perfect, like I don't have it perfect here, but that's okay. I can go back and fix it afterwards. And I'm just trying to get the shape of the biggest part here. It's a little off there. I'm going to have to go and fix that. That's okay. I can't really see it there. There we go. So I make sure at the end here that I get that little circle, meaning closed shape. I'm going to flip it around so I can see my lines here. And then I can use the white arrow, to try and edit it and make it fit. Okay, it looks like I need another point there. So under the pen tool, I can go to the plus. Now hopefully this is all stuff you remember from the pen tool exercise. Down a little. I couldn't see that while I was drawing it. Sometimes it's easier if you just have stroke activated. And you can see what you're drawing. And I'll hit the plus and add another point. Let's go in and fine tune it. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but it's not hard to get it closer. There we go. Then I can flip it around, and now I have the main part of the body done. And I'm going to label it body. And hit OK. Now, I don't want to accidentally be grabbing that all the time, so I will just lock it. And I'm going to turn the little eyeball off so I can see the next parts I want to do. So I have a back leg here, which is, again, you can go like this, over, down, over, over. And there's the leg. I think I'll do the tail too. Now these are on the layer on top, and I want them behind the body, but that will be easy enough to fix. And again, I make sure I get that circle indicating a close path. And I'll turn this back on. Well, I don't really put a stroke on this guy's body. Oh, I got it locked. That's why I can't put a stroke on it. There we go. Unlock it. Now, if you did have a stroke for some reason on your cat, and you don't have to, it looked fine without one. But if you wanted these to be behind, you just drag this layer, which I'm going to call tail and back leg, and I will just drag it below. I don't really want a stroke on my cat. I'm going to lock both those layers. I'm going to do some feet. All right, I'm going to hide these so I can see those feet, and I'm going to zoom in on the feet. I'm going to hit L for the ellipse tool. And remember, you can hold the space bar down to move things. It's a little big. Let me turn it to the outline again. And then I think I'll just blow this up even bigger. There's a circle for that toe. It needs to be a little bigger. So all you need to do is get one foot done, and you can copy it over to the other feet. I'm going to open up my Pathfinder, and I'm going to say unite. Oh no, I missed a toe. I'll grab it again. Unite. And I don't think we need that point, so I'm going to hit the minus and get the delete anchor point. And delete that anchor point. There we go, perfect foot. Now all I have to do is option drag it to the other feet. Obviously, the same thing for the fence. You're going to want to put this fence behind everything, because if you notice, it's in the background. So let me lock this. I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm just going to pull it below the legs, the body, everything. Remember, if you hold down that shift, and that should probably change the color here, you keep straight lines, and also you want to, when you hit that anchor point, you want to see that circle to make a closed shape. And then I just have to hold the option down and option drag or alt if you're on a PC. Now I know I didn't hide the feet. which I probably should have, but that's okay. And I will turn, so now you can see everything's in front. Oop, I have a trouble with that one leg. I'm going to have to pull that down a little. Let me use the white arrow. And I will hold the shift down and select both these points and click on the line. Pull that leg down. And let me move that foot over a little. I'm going to lock those feet because they're getting in the way. There we go. Better. All right, let me zoom out. And I'll lock the feet again so I don't accidentally grab them. And I'll go back to this layer. And grab the rectangle tool. And I just need to draw that bar out. And I want my brown color back, so I'll hit the eyedropper, I on your keyboard right here. Click on the brown. And all right. Like that. I'm going to hide all these and make a new layer. Bring it to the top. Let me name this feet. Feet. It's really good to keep everything labeled. Fence. So for this, you have to make a brush, your own brush. You have to make your own gradient. You have to use the blend tool, and you have to use the width tool. Now, when looking at some of these, I would say you could use the width tool here, and it's really so easy. So let me just, or you could also make your own brush for this. There we go. Let me change that to stroke. Make sure I'm selected. There we go. Now, the width tool is Shift W. And you just click and drag. Pretty easy, right? Really easy. So you can use what I might use a gradient for as the background. You also have to make your own pattern. Now these big squares here, let me turn everything back on, are, you can either draw them and put them on top, or you can use the Pathfinder so that you make shapes on the cat's body. If you're going to use the Pathfinder, you need to be on the body layer. So even though I'm on the body layer, I can still turn the view off. Okay, so now I turn the view back on to see that. Let me flip the body around. Now I can see that shape. So if you want your cat to have some intersecting shapes, I can't get there, that's okay. So you can use some artistic interpretation with your cat. You move the Pathfinder out of the way. And there we go. Now I really want these two shapes to be filled with brown, so I'm going to use the eyedropper. There we go. I'll just click on the background. On the fence here, I'll click on the body again. I'll flip it around. And now, if I hold the shift down, I'm just going to hit divide right here. And now I can grab the white arrow. Now my cat just has some kitty stripes. You can do that, or you can make him being attacked by sharks. It's up to you how you want to do your cat. Now this is obviously a job for the Pathfinder. We'll grab the ellipse tool. I'll hold the shift. To move it while drawing, you hold the space bar. Perfect. I don't think we want a brown moon. Really quickly turn it. I'm going to hold down Option or Alt to copy, and I'll just intersect it right there. Now I'll refill them both. Now we've been using the Pathfinder, but you could also use the Shape Builder tool. And shoot, I forgot the hotkey command. There we go. Shape Builder is Shift M. So as I move my cursor over the selected parts, you see them highlighted and you see a plus. That would make this all one shape. If I drag over it, we don't want that. I'm going to hit Command C and hold the Option down. I want to subtract this and I want to subtract that. Perfectly. I've got a moon. Now for the head, you're going to want to draw the head on its own layer and probably lock that layer. These are just circles. You could add a brush to his whiskers. His eyes are just circles. You could add a brush that you create to his little eyebrow, or you could add a gradient in his ears. You could add a gradient into these. You could add a gradient to the background. You could put a pattern you made in the background. I could also, let me turn this back on. Change the color. So the blend tool is W, double click it, and you get how many steps you want, or smooth color. I'm going to do the steps. And you just simply click on one to the other. And the cool thing is, if you want to, you can edit this line with the anchor point tool. Maybe it's a rising moon. Oop, this way is the way I want to go. And then with the white arrow, I kind of want to pull them farther apart. Adjust it some. Now that's, it's a start. It's not a great thing of beauty, but it's a start. And I'm just kind of going through how to do things. If you want to make a pattern, you just draw your shapes. And you go to your swatches. And let me delete that. Let's say draw a rectangle. Brown. I'm just going to quickly grab the line segment tool. Give it a stroke. quite a few. Let me change that background color some. I don't really like it. Perfect. Now I'll bring up my swatches and I'll grab this and drop it in. And now I'm going to go to my fence layer. I'll show it, I'll unlock it, and then select everything on it. I'm just going to click this little dot. Now I've selected the whole layer. And I'll click my swatch. So now I have not very good wood pattern, but I'm doing this super quick. So hopefully you can see that all the different things in here should be pretty quick to do. Maybe I want a gradient I created. Maybe I should have created a gradient on the moon and then put that on it. Or I can also make a new layer above the layers. I'm going to drag out a square which has got my pattern in it, but I don't want that. I'm going to call it background. And maybe I'll put my gradient here. I'll create a gradient by going here and clicking gradient. And I want to make my own. So let's bring up window, color. And you just click on the stop here, and I need to change it to RGB. I think I want a nighttime gradient, and let me go to the dark one and change it to RGB. There. I think I want this one darker. There's my gradient. And if I want to keep it, I click and drag and drop it into the swatches. I don't like the direction it's going. And you can see here I can make it a circle. Or linear, this freeform thing, I would use the gradient mesh tool. Let's hit G for the gradient tool, and now I can click and change the direction. I'm going to click from the bottom, so G, and drag up. That's much better. And let me zoom out. I need to make my background a little bigger. There. I'm actually just going to drag it over the whole thing. Let me lock this. I don't need this fence pattern anymore. And you know, it's a pretty sad fence pattern, but again, I'm doing it real quick. Let me lock things. Okay, make a new layer. I'm going to write brush, and let's go ahead and under shapes, let's drag to the star. And I'm going to hit D for default, and that gives me white fill, black stroke, and then I don't want the stroke, so I'm going to hit none. And I want, there we go, just a plain old star. That's perfect. Now I'm going to go window, swatches. I'll grab my, there we go. I'll make it a pattern. I'm going to say window, brush, new brush, pattern, brush, hit OK. I'm going to click this down arrow, and I probably should have named it. Let me name that star first. So, where are we? Right here. Call it star so I can find it. And go back. Window. I've got my brushes. Here we go. New pattern. And we want it. Star, there we go. And star again. Okay. And then there we go. I just chose star twice. You could also, if you don't like the way that looks, I'll let you switch up a pattern brush for symbol sprayer. And symbol sprayers, Shift S, and again double click it. And add this time add your star to the window, go to Window Symbols. This time add your star to the Symbols palette, call it star, hit OK. So there we go. Then if you double click, you can get size, intensity. Let's see what if 200 point. That's okay. I'm going to double click my. I think maybe I want it 100. And these are different ways you can change up your symbols, and it tells you what they are. Okay, so there we go. Oops. Thought I did. Got my star selected. No, you were just working. There we go. That said, if I hold Option down, there we go, pull some of them back. So you can use that symbol sprayer if you think that would be better. Still too many. But you can maybe intensity 4, 1, let's 2. Let's try 2, 4, and 2. And that's a little better. Symbol screener. Make some kind of see-through. So you can make a brush or you can use symbols. I'll add that to everything. And remember that I'm going to go to my Google Chrome. That on pamsports.wordpress under Art 207. You have the Cat Trace project right here. You have the files to download if you need them. So this is the Art 207 class. It shows you all the layers. And there's links to how to do things. I'll add the symbol sprayer in there. All right. So that is the cat.